asking you if you could just answer this Mentimeter that we will discuss a little bit the results after, okay? So I will just give you a couple of seconds just to scan the QR code and just answer this question. If you have ever posted about animal research in social media, both as an individual or as a science communication department or as a researcher representing your organization. So we'll come back to this after. So as Masha already mentioned, my talk is about how we can use social media to communicate about animal research and some tips about that. So I believe that most of you are already familiar with EARA, that is a communications and advocacy organization that now has more than 210 members across the globe. And its main objective is to enhance public and regulatory understanding of animal use in research. We also help organizations to implement and coordinate transparency agreements across the European Union and also globally. And this has shown that organizations are doing proactive efforts on becoming more transparent and open about animal research, and that we are seeing a culture change in this matter. So this has been a long-term goal of institutions to be more open about their communication, about their research in animal research, using animals. And now that we have social media as an important tool of communication nowadays, why do we think that this is essential to be used for communicating animal research? And the main point is that science is currently under scrutiny, that people want to know why animals are used and how animals are used, and why we are still using animals and not using new alternative methods or new approach methodologies. So social media can be used to humanize researchers and institutions and explain research in real time and with relatable content. So this can be a direct communication with the public, and also it can reach diverse audiences depending on how you target your post. So first of all, it's important to understand what are our audiences in each platform. So each platform has its own characteristics, and it has certain audiences that are more targeted. So, and this way we should adapt our tone for each platform and tailoring our message to suit it. So most of these really depends on the type of audience that you are reaching, and you can, of course, do some demographics of your platforms to understand what works better, and it might be different from what works better for us at EARA, and your organization might work a little bit differently, but this is what we found, that on X, we usually, or used to, now X is changing a lot, but the audience is changing a lot. But formerly, when it was Twitter, we used to have as a target policymakers, scientists, and journalists, because, well, for instance, scientists are quite active were quite active in X, and we had also quite many organizations that were quite active in sharing their publications and their research on X. And it also is quite useful to do timely updates and start conversations. For instance, LinkedIn is now our platform, our major platform that is growing a lot in the last months. And we found that there is a more professional tone with also scientists, but institutions being present there. And really one standout is more about policy, longer posts, more detailed posts. It works better in LinkedIn. Then we have Instagram, where we usually do more visual storytelling. And I will later show an example of how we adapt our content. So this is more about visual storytelling and short behind the scenes and short videos. On YouTube, we can have explainer videos, interviews, and as you may know, we have the Transparency Thursday and Let's Talk Icon series, and where we have a more educational or more explanatory content. So let's see what we have here in Mentimeter. Let me know if you can see what Mentimeter has. Yeah. So we see that half of the people that answered have posted in social media about animal research, but 20 of the people that answer have never posted on social media about the animal research. So from the people that said no, can you please write in the chat or even unmute yourself just to understand why did you never posted about animal research? Is because you don't conduct animal research? Is because you don't feel comfortable? You are afraid of the of what can spark in the discussions? Yeah, can you please like share with us a little bit? Okay, so the code. Okay. No, no one, no one.
If you can show QR code, was the question.
Oh, yes, I can. I can. So here it is. So you can scan again. And for people that are answering no, could you please like tell us a little bit, like in a short sentence or a couple of words, why you don't feel comfortable in sharing on social media? Or even unmute yourself. Okay. Okay, so we have a couple of people saying that they don't feel comfortable or that they do not use social media to share their work. And also, there are some people saying that they don't think they are allowed to due to institutional policies. So it's normal that people don't feel comfortable to post about this topic because it's quite a polarizing topic. Okay, great. So it's something that it's a polarizing topic in society, and that can spark some difficult discussions. And I believe that Monique will later talk a little bit about handling more negative comments and tackling misinformation. But we still can slowly increase the presence of our research in social media. And there is some tips that I wanted to share with you about this, about what can improve our impact and also how we can talk about animal research in a more balanced way. And so for increasing the impact of our communication, one of the key points is to show people what you are implementing and to show by pictures or by videos what you are trying to convey and not just telling. So for this, you can use human-centered narrative. So don't be afraid to share your human side of research and to use storytelling to explain why you are doing the research that you are conducting and how is it important and its impact. Also, it's important to focus on the ethical commitment and the 3 Rs because often people do not know that we have ethical commitments and that we follow the 3R policy and about the regulations and the legislation that is behind animal research and the strict um, regulations that we have to implement and a study that involves animal research. Also, be aware of the scientific relevance and the breakthroughs that you are sharing. But of course, it's not just about sharing the breakthroughs, and we need to also do a balanced discussion and not overpromise with our content. So be real and stick to the facts. And also, this is not just about showing data, it's about attitude and tone. So by showing what is behind the scenes and by sharing what is about your research, you are also promoting transparency in research and in consequence animal research. So one of the tips that I have today is about amplifying your impact and also joining collective actions, collective campaigns that you can include your views and include your posts in global campaigns. So it's not focused only in your content, you are diluting your post with other content that is being shared on a day or a week. And this way you can feel more comfortable because you are in the context of a campaign and not um, just sharing by your own. So one of the campaigns that we have at EARA is the Be Open About Animal Research Day. And this is a global 24-hour social media campaign that celebrates openness in communicating about animal research. And we have more than 200 institutions participating every year of 48 countries across the 6 continents. And our key tactics for this is having like a set of visuals and also translated posts and central hashtags. In this year is hashtag board25. And this way people can share their views and can share their content in a context of a global campaign. And sometimes people are more comfortable in sharing in this context. And it doesn't need to be in a campaign such as a board, but it can be something that you can develop within your organization. So, for example, the type of content that is shared on board is videos, statements from different perspectives. We have managers of animal facilities, veterinarians, communications managers that participate with their statements. And also we have other types of content such as virtual lectures, games that are being launched in those days, virtual tours to animal facilities, and also visits to animal facilities, open lab visits from the organizations that participated. So I challenge you to register for board. You can register today and submit your contact by the end of the month, or else use the hashtag board25 during the 3rd of June to share your content and participate on the campaign. So if you want more details about this campaign, you can go to our webpage and check the registration form and more details about previous campaigns. So about how to create engaging content. It's really important to keep it short, simple, and visual. It's also important to include the humane side. So don't hide the faces of the researchers that are participating in the research, and also give it context and show that animals are being used ethically and why they are being used. Use also graphic content to share your stories and not just text, so people can have a glimpse of what you are trying to convey straight away from seeing a supporting infographic, for instance. Also be proactive in addressing concerns, build a two-way conversation between you and your public. So start by proactively be empathetic and try to show that you are, why you are doing it, how you are doing it, and the outcomes of what you are doing. So we have workshops on animal research for science communication. So we have a workshop next week, but more dates are coming out soon. So please be aware of that. And for the different platforms, also, as we were discussing, there is different types of content. For instance, you have X, or former Twitter, that wants more fast content, engaging content, and you can use the threads to tell a story and also explain processes. What is, for instance, severity classification? What are the 3Rs? You can tag institutions or researchers and use several hashtags that are being used in the context of animal research, such as hashtag animal research, transparency, the 3Rs. This also can be a platform that is useful for myth busting and to try to debunk myths that come from misinformation. As we were discussing previously, LinkedIn is a more institutional and professional platform. So the tone is more formal, but you can also make it personable and show that your transparency initiatives, the impact of your research, and also the ethics that are behind your institution and organization. This can be also a platform that you use to show your commitment and your organization commitment to openness and animal welfare. And also you can also include case studies, because this platform allows for contents with more text and more explanation. As we were discussing previously, Instagram is more about visual, personal storytelling, and your audience will be younger audiences, for instance, students, and in particular, you see a lot animal lovers in Instagram, people that share about their animals and their pets, and we should aim to have more visual content, and for instance, to share day-to-day lab life images, reels to show how you are doing enrichment, or how you are doing some processes that are behind medical discoveries, such as some experiments, why you are doing it. And you can also have quick interviews with in the stories, as we do with Transparency Thursday, and this could be a more engaging and empathetic social media presence. YouTube is for general audiences. You can use videos a little bit longer, and you can have lab tours, Q&As, patient journeys. So you can have more in-depth content about what you are doing. For the tips, more tips for for creating engagement content is to aim for clarity and not oversimplification. You should use plain language and explain acronyms. So we have an example here where in the first sentence you are seeing transgenic marine model and phenotypic variability, GLP conditions, and people do not understand or do not know or not aware what these terms are about. So you can simplify, but not oversimplifying, but use plain language and explain what you are trying to convey, and show examples. So here you are saying what you use, how do you, why do you use it, and what is the final goal. The skipping the animal aspect can also seem invasive. So transparency is really important to build trust. You should avoid not mentioning the animal research component of your work, but include that in the post in a natural way, as you are saying that you are using in vitro models, cell models. You can also mention that you are using mice or zebrafish, or the animals that you are using for the discovery that you are announcing. Also, avoid doing content data heavy tweets. or X posts in a day, and long captions for Instagram, for instance. Try to spread your message across time and have it formatted in a visually appealing way, such as having the infographics that I already mentioned before. Also, don't ignore your comments or questions, even the tough ones. Try to respond calmly, factually, and with empathy, acknowledging the concerns that are being shared and why people feel about that when they are exposed to animal research, but then use facts to support what you are stating. And this was what I was talking about previously. So each platform has its own culture. So you should adapt for the platform that you are sharing. For instance, we have here a recent LinkedIn post that we shared about research where mice were used to develop a new way of birth control. So this study showed that a small fragment of an antibody could block sperm egg binding, and this could be a way to have non-hormonal birth control method. So this was our post, more explanatory on LinkedIn, but then we created different posts for X. So on X was a single sentence that was shared along with the link for the post. And on Instagram, we created infographic.
6:30.
We created an infographic that visually you can already understand what is the study about, and that they are using mouse. Also, just when you are showing animals that you are using, do it in context. Why they are used, what cards received, what type of enrichment. And don't just post an image of an animal in a cage, but show it in context. Also, you are not trying to convince people about the value of animal research. You are giving accurate and up-to-date information so that the user or the people that you are reaching can make their own mind. So be proactive in your message and show openness, and avoid having arguments, online arguments, when you feel like you are just putting the facts out there. EARA has a strong presence in social media. So besides our main accounts, we have European accounts for 17 countries that post in local languages. We also have the Transparency Thursday series on Instagram, that researchers are invited to answer several questions about their use of animals in research that they conduct. We also have the Let's Talk SciComm series that we invite one science communicator to share their experiences on communicating about animal research and other topics. Another communication strategy that we have is our weekly news digest that we use to share important scientific breakthroughs and other relevant information about EARA. You can subscribe this newsletter on the website or using the QR code here. So you can follow how we are writing about research discoveries, and maybe it can be useful also for you to see how you can share information. So just a quick take-home messages. So build your strategic communication that is based on transparency and trust, and this will, of course, create an environment that is more supportive for your content. Also, your social media can be your ally in showing the care, ethics, and value of animal research, and we should all work together and support each other when doing this effort in being transparent and open about animal research. So thank you so much for your attention. I think I exceeded the time a little bit, but thank you so much, and I'm very happy to answer a few questions that